Here we are again. Okay, let me get this going. Give me a second, guys. We are also letting this this wash dry. Okay. Because you gotta have the microphone. It's not going to work. Everything that I have here is patented to hopefully work and not be a problem. You should see this crazy setup. Okay, so I'm gonna turn you this way. Um, I quickly gessoed and gessoed this, yeah, I guess that's not going to show it, but I quickly gessoed the, I'm using paper and I just gessoed it a couple of times and added, then I put on an acrylic burnt sienna on top. And, you know, these are just studies, so I'm not too worried about it. So, okay, so I need to lay the colors out on my palette. Oh, hold on. Let me see if we have a chat now. Yes. Yay. Let's just double check that. Hey, everyone. And it's working. At least we have a chat. Okay, so if I can move it. All right, so that's better. Let's see if I can, all right, I'll move it up to the top here. Maybe I'll put this in studio mode. All right, so you guys, we are going to paint lemons for 30 days, a lemon a day. And I'm going to start with just a lemon, just one basic lemon, nothing fancy, no background, no nothing, just the lemon. And this week, just work through different ways to paint form. So, uh, like today I'm just going to paint how I normally paint and just to paint the lemon. And what I want to do is come back at the end and compare, um, um, you know, just to kind of see the progress and see what I have understood, what I can do better, what I am learning. So today we're just going to paint it as we paint it. So if you got a lemon out, or if you want, you can use the image that I have up that you'll see in just a minute, and just paint a lemon. And what we're looking at is painting freely, just painting how you normally paint, okay, without thinking too much about it. That's day one. And tomorrow we're going to get into some more picking apart of the form, how it's creative. We're going to be working on the colors, um, depending on the time of day and what happens when you change the colors, and just some various things. But if you're focusing on just a lemon, you can do these quickly and learn a whole bunch about your creativity in a month's time. So I'm going to switch over to scene two. Okay. And am I in scene two? There we go. All right. So I need to lay out colors on the palette. Let's do that. I'm going to be using a limited palette. Oops. Let's make sure that doesn't fall. Going to be using a limited palette, so I'm going to, that just basically means an ultramarine blue, my white, I'm going to use titanium white, I'm going to use a warm yellow, yeah, I'm out of my lemon yellow, so I may alter something here. Quinacridone, which is my cool red, and usually burnt sienna, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go with raw umber. Yeah, I'm going to go with raw umber. So about my yellows, I actually think I'm going to put out the orange and just a cad yellow. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So generally, if I'm using my primary limited palette, uh, it's a yellow, a red, and a blue. Don't know if you can see. The quinacridone is a very cool red. Ultramarine. And I'm, I actually don't think I'm going to need the orange. I'm going to leave it out for now. Wrong number. Okay. How are we doing here? Um, all right. So the first thing I want to do is just kind of draw out, just kind of draw things out. I always change my brushes for this part. Today I'm going to go with um, just a round. Going to add some turpentine. I'm not going to use any medium today. I just want to mark out the lemon. And when you're drawing in, basically getting straight lines, okay? Okay, get a, so that's basically the shape. Now, we're using just straight lines, you guys, just straight lines. And then as we go through, you come in and alter and fix the lemon. But do not spend your time trying to get, hey Blanca, good morning. How wonderful. It's so nice to have you here. It's lovely to have you here. I'm really happy, just so happy to see you. So, this is all about um, how I start. This is how I begin. So, I'm gonna mix my darks, and I'm gonna mix you can see that, right? Mixing the ultramarine blue with the raw umber makes a great dark, 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 dark. Okay, and I'm just gonna go in and just begin to define the shadow area, like the cast shadow. And I'm just gonna put in the entire shadow area. Now you can begin to create the shape that you're seeing. And much of this will be adjusted as you move along. Okay. So in order to begin painting, I'm going to also add, I'm going to use this brush. Can you see that? And just basically put in with raw umber. Okay. Picking up some white. I'm going to make this the blue, which I really love this. This board is great for still lifes. Adding a little bit of raw umber. Pretty much every time I dip the brush in, I'll mix it up just a little bit. Just basically using the same combination of colors. I'm going to mix up the orange. So one of the reasons why using a primary limited palette is so helpful is because you really get to play around and learn about color mixing and mixing a little bit of the orange into the blue, because this blue is still too intense. Of course, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell um, as you're painting. Everything needs to get put in first. So this stage of the painting is basically just getting all the stages in, all the colors in, and then you can gauge what's happening in your painting much easier. Up here, again, I don't want this area to be too blue. I'm adding a little bit of the red in here just to cool it down and bring it back. We're not interested in anything taking us out of the painting. Okay, there's a bit of glare going on here. Sorry about that. I think I'm just going to put down hmm, oops, sorry about that. Okay. Just adding a little bit of turpentine. And let's just get the burnt sienna and the wash will help tone down. This is straight out of the tube. But I'm just getting in the local color. Okay. And this is just a mixing of the two, right? I don't usually do this, but it seems like it would be just one way to get started. Hmm. Okay, you got some work to do on this. This area, I didn't like the way it turned out, so I'm just going to scrape it back. All right. Now, because I'm usually doing the shadow side first, I hope you can hear me. You can hear me, right, Blanca? Um, Okay. So we need to work on the lemon a little bit. So what do you do? How can you tell what's going on? And first, what I want to do is just kind of squint down at it and get um, see if I got the measurements pretty much correct. Pretty much. Pretty much. Could be better. But what I want to do here, not using too much paint, is kind of getting running out of yellow. And of course, we don't have an art store nearby. So let's see what happens with that. Hello, darling. Okay, good. Glad to hear that. So what I'm looking at in the photo reference is slightly different. It is slightly different. I've got a little bit more length from the perspective that I'm standing in because I moved maybe a foot over to the left, which has elongated the lemon a little bit and brought out this side here, which you can't really see in the photo reference. So again, we're not really worried about perfection here. We are more worried about let's see if I can get basic highlight area. So I'm just basically mixing a little bit of of other colors in. When you mix all three colors, even if you have just a dab of something else in it, you have grayed down the color. And it is working differently. Up on this top side here has a greenish tinge to it. From what I'm looking at. And that coming into the shadow side here. I'm just adding raw umber. And a little bit of the blue mixture. It just kind of really tones it down. Okay. I also want to get this color here. Just looks like raw umber, basically. I'm going to mix it in with the green here. I think the value is too dark right here. There's some areas where this is darker. Like right under here, I'm going to go with adding more blue because blue is such a cool color. Cool meaning it's cool in temperature. I just want to, I'm going to darken it a little bit more than it actually is, just to emphasize. Um, there, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. I know I'm mumbling. I know that. And coming in again with this larger brush, and I want to Just soften a little bit this contrast. See that? Adding a little bit of the orange. Probably had too much. Oops. That's what happens when you don't wash your brushes. Just adding some. Okay. The mumble. Yeah, I know, Blanca. I talk. Mm, I mumble when I'm painting. It's really difficult to actually paint and concentrate on your brushstrokes and talk at the same time. Scientifically, it's near impossible. There are very few people who can actually do it. Talk about multitasking. So I'm going to go to a softer brush, you know, a synthetic one, and just kind of work some of these hard edges that I have going on. This color keeps coming up. It's like a burnt sienna color, which I have not put out on my palette. So I'm going to create a very dull orange and just keep adding a little bit of blue to that to gray it down. I don't know how well you can see things on this palette here. It's got it here, here, coming down here. Adding some raw umber to this side to tone it down a little bit. You can see the little crevices, huh? Are you painting with me, Blanca? Or are you just setting up? Okay, I'm going to go back in and start defining some of the shadow areas, just kind of move things around a little bit. Not too happy with this little painting today, but I'll do a little bit of reshaping. It's a little better. Yeah, it's amazing. You work on a painting and uh, you can really see the differences that are made through just some very basic, subtle brush strokes. It's one of the things I love. This area here is just a bit too much. There, I like that better. Just giving the the sense of reestablish the value. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad for, it's been a while since I've painted and lots to lots to learn, lots to get reacquainted with. This edge, I think here needs to be soft. I'm not very skilled with the palette knife. Yes, to soften the edge, especially back here, because I don't want a hard edge there. I want my hard edges to be, more in this area and at this point with the lemon. So you can take a brush very easily and just soften edges. Usually you want to keep a hard edge where you really go in and define something when it's an important part of your painting, when it's around the focal area, when it's in the light area. This could be a more of a hard edge here, but up here, no, I would not have that as a hard edge. It makes it too difficult for the eye, and it looks like a paper cutout when the entire form has a hard edge. So you don't want to do that. Hmm. Yeah, no, I'm not very happy with this little painting. That's kind of cool. I'm noticing the mistakes that I'm making, the overworking. That's interesting. It really is. Hmm. Hmm. Um, let's see. It is for gouache, this paper, and let me show you just a second. I believe it's Canson. Give me a second. Let's see. This is no Clairefontaine, which is 250 grams. Um, better, it's for gouache and acrylics and things like that, but really not for oils. But of course, if you gesso it, which I did, you can use it for these studies and it works just fine. I like to be very frugal when I am doing studies. I've painted on anything, even I've even cut up a cardboard box and gessoed the top of the cardboard box. Serious. Hi. I've even gessoed the top of the cardboard box, the um, piece of the cardboard that I had cut out. I gessoed it and painted on top of that just fine. And when you're doing studies that you're just practicing with and you're just learning and you're not going to be selling the paintings. And so, lighten up. Everybody, oil paints can be very, very expensive if you get lost in um, all the things that you think you need. You really don't need anything. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. You need turpentine. You don't even need turpentine. You can get linseed oil and you can wash your brushes through there, but I use turpentine uh, or a mineral spirit. So you need mineral spirits to wash your brushes and your basic, yeah, your basic palette, just three colors, yellow, red, and blue, plus white, and a couple of brushes, and get some gesso, acrylic gesso. This is yeah, it's just a gooey white stuff. It's like a white acrylic paint, but it's really thick. And this will seal if you paint on top of, let's say you, oh, like from a cereal box or something, right? You can cut out the cereal box and gesso it. Just put gesso all over it a couple of times, maybe three times or four times. Um, depending on the material, right? Just be two times if you're just doing a quick little study like this, which is not going to be sold. Um, and there you go. So you can oil paint and learn how to paint with virtually hardly any money at all. You really don't need that much. You really don't need it. If you have it and you want to spend it and you have the whole setup, oh, you've got gesso. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. Save your cereal boxes. They make a great like 8 by 10 size. Um, and they're great for studies like this if you don't want to spend the extra. And you can take regular paper. You can take regular paper and gesso it. If you want to like make it even more valid, right? You can first put down like a glue, some kind of PVC glue or even Elmer's glue, and just put that down first and then gesso. But usually gesso also has glue in it, so that's usually not necessary. It's just your frame of mind. But when you're learning how to paint, don't spend the money. Just don't. Cardboard boxes, um, and cut them up, and it's great. It's absolutely great. So yeah, paint all sides of it, by the way, also, okay? So I'm gonna leave this one. I don't think I'm gonna go very much more. I suppose I could do a little bit more of this highlight area just to get a little bit of a punch there. Yeah. That's a little bit better. Um, oh, you didn't see that. Let me show you. There you go. I added a little bit more highlight here and here. It just kind of seemed to pull it together a little bit more, rounded it off a little bit. Um, all right. So how long has this taken me? Oh, it took me an hour. Uh, so tomorrow, tomorrow at 5 o'clock, 5:30, 5 o'clock, somewhere in there, I will be back with a second lemon setup. And I think I'm gonna go with learning how to create the planes, like painting the planes of the lemon. So coming in, I did a little bit of that here, right? You know, just so you know that you're painting the planes, and each plane has a slightly different uh, color. So you will and value to it, so that you get the sense of the lemon. So so that's what yeah, but I'll be back again tomorrow, and we'll be painting another, and we'll just paint a lemon every day, so that for me as well, because I need to get back into the flow of painting. I actually haven't been painting very much this summer, sporadically. It was unbearably hot summer here, and I don't do the heat well. So I'm going to go out swimming. I'll go run down for I'm starting my cold water swim season, so I have to go and do that and get my body used to the cooling water, so that when December and January come around, it's like no problem. You just go right in and it's not even cold. All right, Blanca, it was great to have you. Excuse me, it was so much fun to have you. So, um, I'll be putting this up. I gotta figure out a place. I guess on in Facebook, I'll just put it up there, and Instagram and TikTok, just a picture of what's going on. All right. Take care, hun, and see you tomorrow.